Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm John Frisha. Larry was my father-in-law. This is a story about an incredible man, born on January 30th, 1938, to Ed and Hazel Lutz. Larry has a brother, Phil. Larry married the love of his life, Tammy, in 1969. He has 5 daughters, 8 grandkids, and 2 great-grandkids. Larry helped raise 5 beautiful girls: Lori, Nikki, Mary, Gabby, and Rachel. All of them just a little different, but special to Larry in their own way. Lori was the wild child, but Larry's smart with a huge heart. Nikki was the quiet brainiac that wanted to fly like her dad. Mary, another brainiac, but with Larry's giving spirit. Gabby was the athlete, with Larry's sense of no fear. Rachel has Larry's gift to gab, with the side of humor. For this, we are thankful. Larry was smart as they come, graduating from Oklahoma University with a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Central Michigan. He served his country for 31 years. A pilot landing planes on aircraft carriers and achieving the rank of captain in the U.S. Navy. He retired in 1992, but never stopped working. He had a passion for learning, always reading, and loved to pass on the wealth of knowledge. As most of you know, he taught Sunday school for 40 years. I can answer that question. I don't recall ever being at his house and not seeing a book on the table next to his spot on the couch. For this, we are thankful. Larry was a little stubborn, liked routine. We always knew where he stood when it came to politics. He was always right, no matter the topic. His TV had 2 stations, Fox News and the Oklahoma Sooner Channel. He liked his coffee black, but loved to share a cup with a close friend. For this, we are thankful. Larry loved to sing, perform, and direct all things music related. We can attest to his love of song by how often he sang the Boomer Sooner fight song. As an example, he would sing it every Sunday morning before church as the family was getting ready. He absolutely loved directing plays with the church and with Joey. He loved working with everyone and giving others the gift of theater and music. He also painted many of the backgrounds and sets. The only thing he liked more was going to church with his family. And should you decide to miss church, that would get you the cold shoulder for the entire day. For this, we are thankful. Larry was a sports lover. He tried to instill that in all the kids. He loved to watch any sport from OU, but was always supportive of the family activities. His neighbors always knew the score of the football game based on how loud he yelled. Larry would yell at the umpires at Gabby's softball games. He even got kicked out several times, which was usually the fault of the annoying kid that made him mad. He would play basketball with the kids, so we did run over the basketball hoop in the driveway, just like the yellow poles. He said they just jumped out of nowhere. For this, we are thankful. Larry loved his veggie garden, his Keo pond, and his fish tank. He had many throughout his life and enjoyed just sitting in the backyard watching the birds and the squirrels. He was a dog person, but attached emotionally to the cats. You would normally find him surrounded by the family fur balls. He was the family photographer, self-appointed, and not usually appreciated. Pictures usually consist of somebody climbing into a tree. Most of the rolls of film ended up with people turning away, or one of his infamous butt shots. See the photo album after the service. For this, we are thankful. Larry loved to play card games. Games like Pig and Hand and Foot Canasta. That said, you always knew something was up when he smirked and giggled. I remember my first baptism into the card-playing family was in Oklahoma. I was new to the family, meeting Uncle Phil for the first time. Larry asked if I knew how to play cards, and of course I said yes, thinking we were going to play poker. Coming from an Italian family, I grew up playing poker. I was ready for the game. Then we moved into the kitchen and sat in what seemed like assigned seats. Larry says, "You ever play rummy with teams?" I'm like, "Well, sort of, but a quick, little how-to would be helpful." All I heard was blah, 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 and he started dealing. I was lost. They had no mercy on me. I was out in 15 minutes, and Larry had all my cards. I learned that I was going to need my A game if I was going to stand a chance in this family. For that, we are thankful. Larry loved vacations. Back in the day, he was a solo driver on road trips to go visit family and friends using their van. The kids were in the back in the mornings, but in the afternoons, they kept him company, deciding on which of the 4 cassettes to play. King and I soundtrack, Kingston Trio, Johnny Cash, or Abbott and Costello. Plenty of family trips to Williamsburg, which he loved. Trips usually happened when it was about 100 degrees out. And we always expected Larry to become one of the characters in Colonial Williamsburg. I remember a trip to the Northeast for some sightseeing in a 15-passenger van with bench seats we called the Big Red Hot Dog. How about that trip to Branson, Missouri, when little Hannah stood on stage with her tiara and called us her peoples? All great family times that will live in our hearts. For this, we are thankful. With that, I would like to thank all those in attendance and acknowledge the importance of having wonderful friends and a loving family during this difficult time. And if I can offer one memory that I would like you to remember. Most of all, Larry loved his family with every thread of his being, especially Tammy. That was blatantly obvious to all of us that knew him. Every time one of his kids walked in the door, his face would light up. We will miss his beautiful smile.